Good morning, everyone. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, great.
Good, good morning.
Good morning. Letting everybody in here. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I did. Actually cooled off a little bit yesterday, so that was kind of nice. Just get a couple more things handled here. Okay. All right, we'll start here in just a minute, but before we start, does anybody have any wins that they want to talk about? Any good stuff that happened in the past week? Any listings, any closings?
I'll go first.
Great, great, Helen.
Um, I have an ADR property that we're almost under contract. It's kind of going back and forth. So hopefully today
Good, good,
they'll
good.
accept the offer. It's, above list. So,
Okay, that's what they
you know,
like.
it's one of those things. So, but yeah, that's a positive.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we do. What we do. That's why we do what we do to get the
Yeah,
everything over the finish line. So, well,
yeah.
good job.
And I'm listing another one today. So
Oh, nice. Oh, even better.
yeah, yeah,
Well, good job. I
little
know you're
small
kind
one.
of crushing it down there in Fort Myers. Hopefully, it's cooling off a little bit for you guys down there. But
It's hot as hell, but that's why I moved here.
yeah, yeah, exactly. And I don't ever feel sorry for people in Florida. It's like, oh, it's hot. Well, that's why you're in Florida. You
Yeah,
move
that's why
to
I left Maryland.
Wisconsin.
I love it.
Yeah, no, well, you're inside probably most of the time, so I mean, it's not that hot. I mean, it's what we do.
Pool last night at 10 o'clock. I mean, it was just
Yeah.
beautiful. So
Oh, awesome. Well,
yeah.
when I'm down visiting my parents, I'll have to come and see you one of these days.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You can go to Top. My new thing is Top Golf.
Oh yeah,
Like I
my parents live right by there. They're right in
I
Colonial
love
Lane.
Top Golf.
Yeah.
That I just think I should become a golfer. Although it probably isn't as fun as Top Golf,
No, it's probably not. But yeah, we have one there. We have one about 45 minutes from us, actually close to Darren, Cottrell up there where he's at. Well,
Yeah.
good win. Any other wins for this morning?
Okay, I have three closings coming up.
Oh my
So
God. Well, good job,
that's
Debbie.
exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. And hopefully we're gonna see you down at Five Star. You gonna go to Five Star? It's right in your backyard. You at least come over to the hotel and say hi.
I might.
Yeah,
We're
might
just
as
going to be
well.
getting back from our cruise. So
Oh, okay. And Larry's doing a seizing REO opportunities on the Monday before um Five Star starts on the 23rd. So be getting that out to everybody too. And of course, everybody will be invited. We'll probably sell out. I mean, I imagine in Nashville, we're just about standing room only. So we'll see how that goes. But well, good job on those closings. That's what we like to hear. So any other wins for the day? I have a bit of an agenda to go through. It won't take me long, but any other wins for today? Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started then with our agenda. The newsletter came out and we had a lot in it. I didn't have a lot in it to start the weekend, but as my Saturday evolved, I just kept finding more things to put into it. If anybody was on the Larry's call on Friday, we had Chris Gercio. He's an attorney turned realtor, broker turned EXP phenom. He's just crushing it with his organization, and I think his organization is very similar to ours. It's value driven. They're trying to add value to agents on a practically a daily basis. That's our goal anyhow. We want to anytime anybody has a question, anybody has the need to reach out, we want to be there like immediately. We don't want you to have to wait to get questions answered. I mean, there's various different places you can go. Of course, you can go, start with me if you're not sure. Just call me, text me, email me. I'm fairly responsive. I'll let you know when I'm on vacations or might be a little bit slower to respond. But the other ways, to reach out is Regina Moore. She's our transaction coordinator. Regina's great. She gets closings over the finish line, gets you paid fast. That's what we want. Also, if you need, and this came up on Saturday, we had an agent reaching out. They needed a broker to sign a form, and she got it done on Saturday. So if things come up, reach out to me, reach out to her. Usually what's best is just reach out to me and I'll send her a note if she can get this taken care of. And honestly, I try not to bother her on the weekends, but if it's an emergency, if it's urgent, if you need it done, we'll get it over the finish line for you guys. But if anybody hasn't been in EXP world lately, it's super, super easy to get into. It's literally a link. It's exp.world. And you just need your login, your username, password. That's typically the same way you get into enterprise. So if you need tech support, they're super fast. Just go, they're 24/7 for tech support. If you need a broker's question answered, they're not 24/7, but they're during business hours. So if you're in California, I think they run 7 to 6, and the East Coast, I think the same time zone wise. But it's your state broker room. So if you're in Alabama, you go to the Alabama state broker room. If you're in Wisconsin, it doesn't matter what state you're in, you just go to that state broker room. And then of course, if you need some extra time, I noticed a couple agents put some time on my calendar this week and next week, which is exactly what I want you guys to do. If you have questions, you want to discuss, you want to powwow, you want to create a marketing plan or a business plan, or maybe you have an agent you want to talk to us about, maybe being sponsored by yourself. That's the perfect time to do it. So we created a form, and I'm going to throw this in the chat. We created a form, if I can figure out how to do that. We created a form for you guys to use, and the purpose of this form is to help me know what your goals would be if you wanted to sponsor anybody, if you wanted to start developing an organization. And it's real simple. We just need to, I just need to you understand what your goals are, and then set up some time on my calendar to talk a little bit more in depth about it. But we are switching around our agent attraction Tuesday Zoom call. And the only thing that we're switching around, number one, we're switching the time. We had a request from Jeff Russell to be able to have it a little bit later so he could do his prospecting calls. So we helped him out a little bit with that. So it's at 9:30 Pacific time or 12:30 Eastern time instead of the 11 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific. And the other thing we're going to do a little bit different is we're going to have an agenda. We're going to follow a 6-week agenda. It was in the newsletter, but I'll just review it real quick with you. The first week is going to be basically building your foundation. So, where to find the agent, where to find people to reach out to. And you can do the cold call thing, but I really don't recommend it. I really recommend warm calling people that know you or that they know you through another person. And the scripting is very simple. We'll go into that on Tuesdays. But week 1 is basically how to build that foundation. And week 2, we're going to talk about the 1% approach to attraction while you're maintaining your productivity. Now, for some of you, you might want to put, like I do, I put 100% of my time into attraction. I have like 6 calls today. They're all, people I've never talked to before, but I have something in common with them. They're wanting to be part of our REO Alliance program, be part of ADR in their network, and they're all over the country. But that's me. That's probably not you. You're probably focused on your production, your closing deals, doing your however many deals you want to do this year. So we don't want you putting a lot of time into attraction, but if you can put 1% of your time into it, we can help you out with that. So week 2 is going to be the 1% approach. Week 3 is crafting your value proposition. You can start doing that now. What do you add value? Are you great at social media? Are you great at doing open houses or getting listings? Robert Welkart, who's one of our coaches, and he'll be having his Zoom call right after this call. He's phenomenal. He basically figured out the whole travel the country in your motorhome and take 2 or 3 listings a week approach, which isn't probably everybody's approach, but if there could be different flavors of that approach that he can help work with you on. And he has a nice program. If you wanted to capture an additional 3 to 5 listings this year, working with him, he worked out a program that's basically, it doesn't cost you anything. The only thing it would cost is more or less a referral fee to him to help show you or mentor you through this program. But honestly, what he mentors you on is totally, it's fantastic stuff, and it would definitely work. So if I was still in sales, if I needed to make a living doing this, I would probably be, me personally, I would probably be reaching out to him. I just don't have the years of experience, the knowledge bank that he does. I mean, he has 38 years. I have essentially 10. So I would definitely tap into that if it was me. And then we talked the next week, on week 4, we talking about you're making your discovery call, the prospecting call, what to say, what not to say, and then handling objections would be week 5, and then week 6 would be follow-ups and reviews. And each week we're going to build on the next week, and we're going to be reviewing and going back and laying the foundation for agents. And what I ask agents is, how much extra income would you like to have this year on top of what you're doing? And most people are telling me between 15 and 30,000 a year would be a good spot for them to be in, to have a little bit of extra. It's like an extra, $1,000 to $2,000 a month. And, for me, that was a mortgage payment, or, it could be, having a little better car, maybe if you wanted that boat, or whatever the case might be, whatever your whys are. So, so we're gonna start that. So if you have some time, fill out that form. I'll go ahead and get it, emailed to me that you filled it out, and then we can go from there. And again, it's not mandatory. You don't have to do it, but it's a value added thing that EXP has. So, you can do it if you want. If you don't want to, that's fine. So any questions about our traction calls or the form or anything like that? So the next thing I'm going to throw in the chat is my calendar. And again, this is, we want to have any time that you guys want to have a conversation that's more than 5 minutes. I'll take 5-minute calls all day long, but if it's going to be 15, 20 minutes, just put time on my calendar. It's easier for me to schedule that time. And, we can have dedicated time to go over that. Even if you want to have a call with me every single week, just to go over different things, not a problem. Larry's the same way. I'm not going to throw Larry's calendar in the chat, but if you want to talk to him on a regular basis, let me know, and I'll see if that's a possibility. When I started, we had a standing every 2-week call. So for the first 3 months that I was part of EXP, Larry and I spoke every 2 weeks, just to go over different stuff, how things were going. At that time, I think his organization was around 400 people. Today, it's closer to 700 people. So half of that is probably due to our organization, Noel's growth. So we're really happy to see that growing. Getting back to the newsletter, I did put information about Robert Welkart's 14-day online offers program. So read that. If you want to talk to him more, email me. I'll make an introduction to you guys. Also, you can go on to his Monday mastermind, and also he does a Wednesday scripting and role playing. Had a couple little articles, one from Club Wealth, one from Josh Shonley. Those were pretty good articles. Put an article in there about that I saw on I think it was on NAR about home down payments. Again, the call from Friday was phenomenal. I actually watched it 3 times already. I watched it, Friday. I couldn't be on it live, so I watched it after work. I watched it while I took a 4-mile jog. Listen, didn't watch. And then yesterday I sat down and I took notes for the whole video. So I have it all outlined, like at minute 4 he talked about this, at minute 12 he talked about this. So if anybody wants that, I'll probably put it in next week's newsletter because it's more specific to our group. I didn't want to put it in the YouTube itself because it talked about some proprietary stuff about our group and about EXP itself, which I think the Zoom was geared more toward, well, it was geared 100% towards attraction. But anybody, I mean, he mentioned a couple different Zoom calls that he had been on, and one was talking about positive present, positive future, negative present, negative future, like a 4-quadrant diagram. And I thought it was good stuff. He got it from another agent who's actually a Caldwell banker agent, because he was at Caldwell at one time, and it was just a training to. It was more for listing appointments. So there was some good stuff sprinkled in it. It wasn't just all attraction. What else do I have on my agenda today? So here's the, if you guys want to watch the YouTube on Chris, just threw that in the chat. And the last thing I'm gonna bore you guys with today is jump on Joe Limo's mastermind call. Just threw the link in the chat. It's phenomenal. He takes an hour. He usually has a guest. I can't even remember who his guest was last week, but the guest was talking about different strategies for listing home. No, it was like a marketing guy. The guy was like a social media guru, and so his calls are more focused on because Joe's claim to fame is listings. You know, he's really good at listings. If you ever see some of his YouTube videos, I mean, he goes, I don't know, he does like special effects and stuff, and he's really good at that mantra. So I would definitely, use his knowledge bank because he's part of our organization. He's one of our coaches. He loves helping people out. And typically he has about 30 to 40 people on his mastermind calls. Most of you guys have been on Larry's calls. They're on Fridays. The one coming up for this Friday is going to be his lecture called Seizing REO Opportunities call. And it should be pretty good. We've been heavily marketing it to outside members of our organization. So get onto that call a little bit early so you guys make sure you get a seat. Let me just go through the newsletter. I don't think there was anything else. Didn't see any Revenues training this week. Did you guys see anything on Revenues that we need to be like any? I didn't see anything. And EXP Con's coming up in Miami. So this would be, if you're going to go, this would be a good time to get registered for that. We have a new asset management company that's part of the REO Alliance. That hasn't really been formally announced, but I think Larry will talk about it on Friday's call. And I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Bob Norell, but Bob used to run Dakota back in the day, and now he has his own asset management company called Asset Optimization and Solutions, LLC. They're running some workshops in the New York, Pennsylvania area. So see if anybody, really nobody on this call is in that zone. Monica's probably the closest, and she's in Columbus. Columbus and Harrisburg are probably 6 hours away from each other. So that might be a no-go for Monica, but it's something he's probably going to roll out as a Zoom type of feature down the road. But we're excited to have Bob working with us now as part of the REO Alliance. And we're working to get you guys who are REO agents. I see most of the people on this call are trying to get you guys preferred in his group as well. We're not quite there yet. But we're working on it. But they're probably going to be using lists that we provide because we have probably the broadest and biggest referral database of agents. And agents on our preferred list are we know who they are. We know that they do good work, and we can usually make those recommendations to these groups. And Bob and Darren go way back as well. So. But any questions, any comments, any needs for you guys today? All right. Well, I'm not gonna bore you with any other details. If you guys want to jump on the agent attraction call tomorrow. Oh, here's Larry. Let's see if Larry has anything to add. But if you guys want to jump on the agent attraction call tomorrow, the link was in the newsletter. Feel free to do so. Larry, we're just wrapping up. Did you have anything you wanted to add or anything you wanted to talk about? We were talking about Bob Norell and the new asset management group that you guys brought into the REO Alliance.
No, not that. No, I just got your text message, and for future, if you could put that on my calendar, like I'll be able to show up a lot more. Because I don't always look at it as I'm getting things around. But no, Bob Norell is a huge addition. He's done so much in this industry. He has a great training session, and a lot of his classes right now are up in the Northeast. So if you guys are located up there, or keep an eye out on that. It's a great way. One, I think his class is pretty amazing, even if you're an experienced REO agent. But two, it allows you to build a better relationship with him. And he's still an asset management company as well. So super excited on that. And we're working on a couple of other strategic partnerships and alliances as well that I think is all going to help us tremendously for the next 4 to 6 years. But no, nothing besides that. Just leverage these opportunities, guys, to, build more business, more referral income, grow groups and teams. And if Eric and I can help you guys do that at all, let us know. But take advantage, because not everybody has these same opportunities right now in this market.
Yeah, thanks for that. And I just added you to the calendar invite, so that should be on your calendar from here on out. But anything else you guys wanted to go over today, or any other needs or things you need from Larry or I?
I have a quick question.
Sure, Angela.
I got a referral request from an EXP agent for Florida. His sister's living near me down there, and we're gonna do a Zoom call tomorrow. So I was wondering if anybody in the group had any extra advice on how to list via Zoom. I've always been a person who lists in person.
Well, that would be a Robert Welcard question, 100%. So he would definitely be willing.
That's what I was going to say. He takes 4 to 5 listings a week via Zoom. Yes, I would reach out to him for
And
sure.
his call's right after this one. I'll throw his. Do you have the newsletter, Angela? Do you have the link for that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah, he'll be on in like 5 minutes. Just go on his call, ask that
Okay.
same question, and maybe you guys could have a quick call later today or tomorrow before you have that Zoom call.
Yeah, I'd even be willing to, flip him a referral fee if he wanted to help me out with it to get this first one going.
Yeah, talk to him about it, because that's we were talking about that a little bit earlier. I mean, Robert's a great resource, and we haven't really been tapping into Robert's knowledge bank until more recently, where he's actually developed some of these initiatives to help agents out. And he's been doing it for a little while, but not like really marketing it and making it known. But I think now that he's really comfortable with being able to share this knowledge with everybody, and again, it's the first few deals, you guys work together on those, and he'll mentor you. There needs to be exchange, of course. You don't want to just take advantage of somebody for their knowledge without having exchange. But it could be a really good addition to your what you can offer your clients, the people that you work with. And you don't have to always be there. You don't have to be in front of them all the time to do this. So I mean, times they are changing, so we have to definitely stay current and stay up to date with everything. So, not to say that you have to move to that platform now. I'm not saying that. It's just keep that in mind and keep that as an option, so that maybe if you can't move, it just your instance is perfect, Angela. I mean, these opportunities will come when you least expect them. So have all these tools in your tool belt ready to go, and know who to call when you run into a problem. And Larry and I both had the same solution. Right, we knew what the solution was right away just by hearing the question. So that's the other
Right.
beautiful part about what we're trying to do is tap into us.
Right, and how's the fastest way to get an EXP sign ordered and delivered?
I know Build a Sign has been having some hiccups. I don't know the answer to that question. Jared, maybe can you help her out with that?
When I've been slow getting signs from Build a Sign, I actually just find independent sign companies that have an EXP template. Sometimes that even means they print it on a vinyl, but I get it quick if I need it outside of having it done through Build a Sign.
Any other questions from anybody today? Anything else you guys want to go over, review? Still have a couple minutes before Robert's call starts.
Yeah, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, Matt.
As far as, with the law changes and everything that are coming down the road, my understanding is that, doing opening a door for anyone, you're going to have a buyer's contract in place. Something that I thought about was, I work with a lot of investors, and, I don't know if anybody has considered this or currently has a way of doing this, but my thought was to charge like a small upfront fee for travel time and expenses, just to go to the home, do a virtual tour, take photos, send them the information, comps and whatnot for a property that an out-of-state investor is looking to purchase. And then is it possible that if they decide to go through with the purchase, that I could potentially credit them for that upfront fee that I had charged them so that they're not paying in addition to that?
It sounds like an interesting way of approaching that. Kelly Jones is our buyer agent expert. She'll probably be on Robert's call, but I would say I don't know the answer to that question, but it does sound like something you might want to run. Larry, should that be a broker question, or would that just be how would that be handled?
Here's the thing. Yeah, you always want to run it by your broker, but at the end of the day, the short answer is yes, as long as all parties agree, right? So that's the short answer. As long as it's in writing and all parties agree, that's called a retainer fee. I've done it very limited in my career, but I have done it. And part of the reason is that realtors are a dime a dozen. And like lots of times people are like, well, man, that's not what this person said. So this is where you just have to have your scripting and your value proposition of why would somebody do this when they don't have to do it to the other agent. So as long as you have that value proposition and stuff like that in place, I think it's a good idea. And then your broker can help you with whatever contract and stuff you need on that as well.
I'm sure there's going to be people out there that are not following the rules, when this all happens. So we have to, make sure that we are, protecting our licenses, but there are going to be people that are not going to be doing things the correct way. It's always been the case. So again, I'd work with to know exactly how you want to present that. And, we all add something of value, buyer's agents. I think in the past, as a buyer agent myself for a lot of transactions, I just kind of assumed that there would be a commission paid to me. Now we have to make it a little more known to the buyer themselves, and just make them understand the value that they're getting for the fee that we're charging. So, but that's a good question.
Okay.
That's going to be coming up more and more, I think, Matthew.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I feel like a lot of times investors get frustrated with real estate agents because the agent's like, yeah, I'm not going to do that, or they don't call them back, or they send them a little bit of information, but then they really don't follow up. And I think part of it is just due to the fact that so few investors actually follow through with the purchase. The realtor feels as if it might be a waste of their time. And I thought if there was a way to come up with a fee structure that would make sense, not that you're an inspector or anything like that, because I'm fully disclosing that I'm not an inspector, I'm not an appraiser, I'm not doing those jobs. I'm only opening the door and showing the property and answering questions about the current condition of the property.
Right, and somebody's got to do it, right? You should be compensated for it. It shouldn't be, done for free. The compensation we would always assume would come with the sale, but if there's no sale, then we're just doing a lot of running around and traveling for, basically gratis. So it's a good conversation. It's something to be working towards. And what state are you in, Matthew?
I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. So yeah, we'll definitely get that worked out between your state broker, and also any questions we can run past Kelly as a buyer's agent herself. So I'm gonna go ahead and end the call. This was recorded today, so if anybody wants to re-watch it, you go to our YouTube. We have two YouTube channels. They're both in the newsletter, so go to our YouTube. You can watch this video. But good conversation today, everyone. I hope to see everybody on Robert's call and on Joseph's later today. If anybody has any questions, my calendar was in the chat. Take that down. A couple people already made appointments, so that's good. And then we can have longer conversations. But the goal is to get you guys, productive, busy, and stay busy throughout the course of the year. So you guys have a good day, and I'll see everybody on the Agent Attraction call tomorrow. Take care.